A very warm welcome to all of you. Myself, Professor Nagaresius from KG Somai College, Kopargaon. In this lecture, we are going to take some MCQs for practice purpose for the SPPU TYBSc online examination 2021 for semester 2nd on the chapter Nuclear Chemistry. So, we take these MCQs along with the proper explanation. Before starting this lecture, please subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon in order to get the notification for some important lectures on the important topics from the syllabus as well as some MCQs from the different chapters. So let's start this lecture. So the first MCQs from this lecture is here. The sodium with atomic number 11, mass number 22, and the second sodium with atomic number 11 and mass number 24 are of sodium. And the four options are: A option is isobars, B option is isotopes, C option is isotones, and the D option is isomers. So we have to consider here what is the relationship between these two nuclei of a sodium. So if we carefully observe here, both these nuclei of a sodium having the similar atomic number, but they get differ in terms of their mass number. And we know very well that those nuclei which having the same atomic number but different mass number are called as, that is nothing but they are called as the particular, that is the same atomic number but different mass number. So that nuclei are called as the isotopes of each other. So the option B is a correct option. These two nuclei of a sodium are called as the isotopes of sodium. The next question is here, that is question number 2. The nuclei carbon with atomic number 6, mass number 13 with neutron number 7, and the nuclei of nitrogen with mass number 14, atomic number 7, and number of neutrons are. So what is the relationship between these two nuclei? And the four options are: first option A is isotopes, B is isobars, C is isotones, and D is isoelectronic. Now if we carefully observe these two nuclei, they are having different atomic number as well as the different mass number, but one thing is common: both these nuclei are having a same number of the neutrons, and we know very well that if a neutron number is the same among the two nuclei, then that are called as the isotones. So option C is the correct option of this numerical number, this MCQ number 2nd, that is these two nuclei are called as the isotones of each other due to the same number of the neutrons. The next question number 3 is here, and the question is: which is the stable nuclides in terms of neutron proton ratio? So the four options are: A option is neutron proton ratio equal to 1, B is neutron proton ratio is greater than 1.536, C option is neutron proton ratio less than 1, and option D is neutron proton ratio is equal to 0. We know the relationship between the neutron proton ratio to that of the stability of the nuclides. We know the graph of that particular stability strip of this neutron proton ratio. So according to that graph, we know very well that the nuclides which having the neutron proton ratio is equal to 1 are present in a stability strip, and that's why that nuclei are called as the most stable nuclides, and that's why the correct answer for this MCQ number 3 is option A, that is neutron proton ratio if is equal to 1, then that nuclides are called as the stable nuclides. The next question, the next MCQ number 4 is here. The difference between theoretical mass and actual mass of a nucleus is called as, and the four options are: mass number, B is atomic number, C is mass defect, and D is none of these. And the correct answer of this question is option C. It is called as the mass defect. If we take the difference between theoretical mass and actual mass, so that difference is called as the mass defect. The next question, question number 5 is here. The amount of energy which must be supplied to the nucleus so as to break it into its constituent particles is known as, and the four options are: A is kinetic energy, B is activation energy, C is internal energy, and D is binding energy. And the correct option among these four is nothing but that energy is called as the Option D is correct. It is called as the binding energy. So binding energy is nothing but the amount of energy which is required to break the nucleus into its constituent particles. The next question, number 6. The unit of mass defect is, and the four options are: A is million electron volt, B is electron volt, C is atomic mass unit, and D is a milligram. And the correct option among these four is option C. The unit of mass defect is atomic mass unit. The next question 7 is here. Average binding energy is the ratio of binding energy of a nucleus to its. Four options are: A is mass number, B is atomic number, C is principal quantum number, and D is a magic number. And the correct option among these four is nothing but the average binding energy is the ratio of binding energy of a nucleus to its mass number. So option E is the correct answer. The next question, number 8 is here. The two light nuclei unite together to form a bigger nucleus to attain stability. The process is called as: option A is association, option B is fission, option C is fusion, and option D is a binding. We know very well that in order to attain a stability for the light nuclei, they want to become stable by combining together, and that process is nothing but the process that is called as the fusion process. So option C is the correct answer for this particular MCQ number 8. Next question, number 9 is here. The radioactivity was discovered by, and the name of four scientists are here. A option is Newton, B is Einstein, C is Bragg, and D option is Becquerel. And the correct option among these four is option D, that is radioactivity was discovered by the scientist Becquerel. Next question, number 10 is here, and the question is: which have the high ionizing power among the following? Four options are: A option is alpha particles, B is the beta particles, C is gamma radiations, and D is the positrons. Now, if we compare the ionizing power of these four different type of the particles or radiations, so these ionizing power depends upon the mass of that particular particle. So among these four, these particular alpha particles having the more mass, and that's why the correct option of this question number 10 is nothing but the option A, that is alpha particles having the high ionizing power among these four different type of the particles or radiations. The next question number 11 is here. The conversion of parent nucleus into daughter nucleus is called as, and the four options are: A option is a fission, B option is a fusion, C is radioactivity, and D is called as a decay. We know very well, whenever the parent nucleus is unstable in nature, it wants to become stable by emitting the excess amount of the energy in the form of the radiations along with the evolution of some type of the particles. So during this process, a daughter nucleus is formed, and this process of conversion of parent into daughter is called as the decay process, and that's why the correct option is option D, that is this is called as the decay. The next question, question number 12 is here. 1 Curie is equal to, and the four options are: A is 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 disintegration, B is 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 disintegration per second, C is 2.3 into 10 raised to 10 disintegration, and option D is 2.3 into 10 raised to 10 disintegration per second. And the correct option among these four is nothing but the option B is the correct, that is 1 Curie is equal to 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 disintegration per second. The next question number 13 is here. The daughter form on alpha emission is displaced groups to the left of the parent in periodic table, and the four options are: option E is 1, option B is 2, option C is 3, and D is 4. Now we know very well the group displacement law, that is a Suddi's group displacement law. So according to that law, whenever an alpha particle get emitted from the particular parent nuclei in order to form the daughter, then that daughter nuclei acquire or get occupy, or it acquire the positions, that is nothing but the two groups to the left of the parent in the periodic table, means its atomic number get decreased by the 4 unit, and that's why the correct option among these four options is nothing but the option B is the correct option, that is it displays two groups to the left of the parent in the periodic table, or in other words we can say that the daughter having atomic number less than 2 units as compared to the parent nuclei. Next question number 14 is here. After registering the ionization event during which the counter is not in a position to register another such event, then this time is, and the 4 options are dead time, B is active time, C is processing time, and D is none of these. And the correct option among these 4, it is called as the option A is correct, that is it is called as the dead time of the counter. The next question number 15 is here. The element which is labeled in order to find out the reaction mechanism is called as, and the 4 options are A is active element, B is passive element, C is radioactive element, and D is a tracer element. We know the applications of the radioactivity. So the first important applications of this radioactivity is called as the tracer technique in order to find out the reaction mechanism, and for this purpose we have to label a particular element in order to find out the mechanism of the reaction. So that element which is to be labeled is called as the tracer element, and that's why the correct option is option D. The next question number 16 is here. We have to complete this particular nuclear reaction. The parent nuclei is radium with atomic number 88, mass number 228. It get converted into the daughter actinium with atomic number 89, mass number 228. Plus we have to fill in these blanks, or what is the missing particle that we have to choose. And the 4 options are A option is alpha particle, B option is a beta particle, C option is a gamma ray, and D option is a positron. Now if we look towards carefully this particular nuclear reaction, so the radium get converted into the actinium along with the emission of one particle, and that particle is nothing but this beta particle. So the correct option is beta particle. So this beta particle get emitted by the conversion of radium into the actinium. The next question number 17 is here, and the question is again we have to complete this particular nuclear reaction. This carbon is a parent nuclei on which this deuterium get bombarded, and due to which it forms one daughter nuclei that we have to identify, and this helium nuclei get emitted during this conversion. So the 4 options are carbon nuclei with atomic number 6, mass number 14. B is nitrogen nuclei with atomic number 7, mass number 14. Option C is boron nuclei with atomic number 5, mass number 10, and the option D is oxygen nuclei with atomic number 8, mass number 16. And the correct option among these 4, that is this missing term, is nothing but this option C is the correct option, that is that missing nuclei is nothing but the boron nuclei. So boron is the daughter nuclei formed by the conversion of this carbon into this particular boron nuclei. So this is a nuclear reaction. Next question number 18 is here. The carbon 14 dating is used for finding out what is the use of this C14 dating, and the 4 options are age of water sample, B is age of minerals and rocks, C is age of earth, and D option is age of dead organism. And we know very well that this carbon 14 technique is a very common technique in order to find out the age of the dead organism, and that's why the correct option is option D. This C14 dating is used for finding out age of the dead organism. The next question number 19 is here. The ratio of tritium to that of the hydrogen is used to know the age of, and the 4 options are water sample, B is minerals, C is a rock sample, and D is called as earth. And the correct option among these 4 is option A, that is this ratio is useful to find out the age of water sample. The next question number 20 is here. Maximum average binding energy per nucleon indicates, and the 4 options are maximum stability of nucleus, B is minimum stability of nucleus, C is the radioactivity, and D is the spin of nucleons. And we know the relationship between stability of the nuclei to that of the average binding energy, and if this maximum average binding energy is there, it is directly proportional to the stability, and that's why that nuclei having a maximum stability of the nucleus. So option A is the correct option for this question number 20. So in this lecture we focus on the different important MCQs on different important topics in this nuclear chemistry chapter. I hope that you understand all these MCQs along with their proper answers along with the supportive explanation. The remaining important MCQs from this chapter we will take in a upcoming lectures. So those who cannot yet subscribe my channel, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon in order to get the notification for the upcoming video lectures. So with this I stop here. Thank you so much.